Thanks for everyone to be here. It's an honor to be a speaker at NFT Berlin. Thanks for the organization to welcome us. I'm Emiliano Bonassi, co-founder and CEO of Rentable, a renting protocol for NFTs. And today I'm gonna show you why for us renting is very effective compared to borrowing, and we explore how we manage to solve the problem and some practical use cases about NFT and DeFi composability. So this is the agenda. I already explained you all the topics. So why we think that renting could be superior in some use cases compared to borrowing. Today we have two mechanisms to give access to a token without owning it. We have the renting, we have the borrowing. Starting from the borrowing, in general, what you do is you do a over-collateralized loan. So you put a guarantee in a protocol. Maybe you put, some if that its value is higher than the NFT that you would like to borrow, and you get the NFT. The problem here is that for accessing to that NFT, I have to spend more or to own more than the, the value of the NFT. And that's why renting, comes in place. I mean, free collateral renting. So the idea of renting is that you don't have to put any sort of guarantee, or at least you have to put a guarantee that has a value lower than the asset that you get it. And the advantages are that you lower the entry barrier for users. So users get NFTs at a fraction of their price. And so you enable them to pay for use those NFT instead of owning it. And as we will see in the next slides, this is pretty effective for many games and platforms. For owners, the advantages than borrowing is that you continue to own the NFT. So basically you don't lose the access. And compared to a traditional lending platform, you don't have the risk of losing it because the borrower maybe don't get back and you have to liquidate the collateral. And obviously, you have an option to put your NFT at work. For platforms and creators, this opens their production. So in addition to selling the assets, you can rent those assets and you can share the royalties that comes from rental. And since renting removes the entry barriers because you don't have any sort of collateral, the audience broadens. So you have more users that can access to your business. Obviously, the first one, very famous, is the play-to-earn games. So give access to scholars to assets to play those games. We remember that for many games, owning, some of the assets from Axie, from Kabada, et cetera, could be very expensive at first. And maybe you have managers, guilds that want to delegate the scholars to play with their asset that they bought for them. You have metaverse passes and items, so sandbox lands, Decentraland lands, and so on. We have, so we have also, guilds operations management. Today, guilds have a lot of fragmentation. I mean that any games has their own renting or delegation mechanism, and so having, a protocol or a way to standardize the way of renting is very effective. Then we have liquidity management or brokering. So imagine that you are a DAO or an asset manager that manages hundreds of NFTs and want to safely delegate a third party, a broker, to list on behalf of you, to manage on behalf of you, but without giving access them to your multisig or to your assets. This is possible with us and with the renting. Then you have, airdrops. So maybe I would like to delegate someone else to collect the airdrops on my behalf, an automation or a user. And then in the end, we have a very interesting use case related to social status, so renting a PFP just for flexing for a few days, or maybe get access to an event like this, or to an event that requires you to own a Bored Apes, Meebits, or whatever. But there are plenty of more. But this is just, why renting has a sense, okay? So how you can enable renting. So it's how I can transfer, the asset to a third parties, but with the right to, get back somehow. This is not easy, and how we can add to existing NFTs and maybe to new ones. It's easier for new ones. Why? Because probably most of you are thinking, okay, let's do a new standard, right? It's the best solution. So if I want to add also, lending to an ERC20, just do another standard that had lending to any, new ERC20. But obviously the solution is, it's not a new standard, okay? Because we will end up with another new standard, and any time that you want to add a new feature, you have to do a new standard. We have protocols, we have composability in DeFi, how we can, bring those concepts also in, let's say, in the NFT space. I will tell you how we get to the solution that we think. So last year, in the late spring, we had the idea of renting. So we tried to do some brainstorming, designing what could be a raw version of the protocol. And we decided to go to ETH Lisbon, to the hackathon, to do the heavy lifting. So we built the core protocol there, the core front end there, and we arrived in the finalists. And there was a lot of attention to the protocol. Many users, many players started to, okay, when is going to be in our game? Obviously, for most of the games that are maybe on Immutable X on layer 2, it's not easy, but we'll arrive there. And after that moment, we basically consolidated the technology around it and the wrappers. We originally used wrappers to implement the renting. And in January 22, basically we launched beta on mainnet with Twitter PFP rentals with Meebits. So you can rent a Meebit and use inside Twitter as a PFP. And but we started to see some limitation of the wrappers approach because require a direct integration from the platform, because you have basically the same NFT with all the same properties, but it has a different smart contract address. It's like when you bridge, DAI from ETH to Polygon, the DAI is the same, okay, because it lives outside their specific representation, but it has a different smart contract address. So you have the platform recognize loop. And this, opens some challenges. So we did some research, we talked with many people, and at some point, this month, we basically found out a good mix that could work. And I'm going to show you today, it wasn't shown to anyone else. So you will be the first to see it live. So the core idea was we don't have to reinvent the wheel. The standards were already there. All the elements are already there, but we have to understand which is the good mix, okay? No an additional standard, no other wrappers, no other, idea that could steepen the barrier. At least we are trying to lower the entry barrier for users, try to lower the entry barriers also for integrators, platforms. So how we can mix all these standards and technology available at the moment. And the idea was, okay, let's use an Ethereum standard from 2018. Basically, the smart contract signature verification. So you can basically demonstrate that you own the control of a specific smart contract, is the EAP 1271. Use a ubiquitous wallet technology, basically Wallet Connect, that is integrated everywhere. And still use wrappers, because you will see that for transferring from one renter to another, you still use, a way to do the job. And That's all. I mean, it works. So, I mean, we enable renting in any platforms that support Wallet Connect. Imagine how many platforms there are that support Wallet Connect. And it works. I'm showing you basically few use cases that are already live on mainnet in a private beta. So please reach me and Giovanni then to ask for, you know, a whitelisting before we effectively launch. This is a demo where I show you how you can rent a MIBIT and use inside on Cyber. You know Cyber probably better than me. You know, you can get a space there and show your NFTs. So let me see if the video is gonna to work. Okay, the renting process is pretty easy. I mean, you choose the duration of the rental. You perform the transaction, and as soon as it gets confirmed, basically you end up to have the MIBITs in a smart wallet managed by Rentable. And with Wallet Connect, you can basically demonstrate to own Cyber, and here you see the signaling that is working effectively. This is production, right? That you basically are the owner of that smart wallet. You get on Cyber, and you decide where to place your MIBIT, okay? And the interesting stuff of MIBITs is that you have the 3D model, okay? And this is your MIBIT. This is the first, I mean, one of the first use cases that we want to demonstrate today. Obviously, the controls are not working as I expected, but okay, let me see. Okay, and here another interesting use case. You know Lobster DAO? Okay, Lobster DAO did a collection a few months ago to give to all the contributors of the chart. And the NFTs give you access to specific charts, okay? And this is made via Collablend. So Collablend is a platform that helps you to create token-gated experiences based on NFT or EC20, whatever. And here...
Testing.
Sorry? Oh, okay. So here we see the same...
Mic test.
Okay, I don't know who is using my mic. But
this is from the Zoom call. Testing. Can you hear me good?
that's interesting to have, you know, a shadow speaker. No, but it's okay. I mean, we can invite on the stage if we have, you know. Anyway, the experience is similar to the previous one. So you go on the marketplace. We have a marketplace, but it's just to show how it's easy to integrate Rentable. Obviously, we want to have the experience on the platform itself with, you know, a rent button. You know, imagine a game, the UX is there, but here just to demonstrate how it's easy. So you rent an NFT of the Lobster DAO just to try what it means to be part of that community, okay, before maybe buying that NFT, that PFP. You rent it. As soon as the transaction gets confirmed, you have the Lobster token in your smart wallet. And now you get the protected link from the administrator. You interact with the Collablend bot. The Collablend bot asks you, okay, let me know who you are. And you have to basically connect via Wallet Connect and then sign a transaction. I mean, do an off-chain signing. And as soon as you do that, we will see here, you are verified. And you can enter in the chat. Join the group. And I'm in. Again, this is real. I mean, this is not a mock-up or whatever. We can play then if you want. Okay, so let's see the final. I mean, not the very final, but one of the final use cases. Decentraland. So here you want to rent a parcel on a metaverse. you can do. And as you will see, directly in the decentralized platform, you will be stated as, an operator of that lands. So not the owner, but the operator. So decentralized has this cool mechanism where you can own the land, but you can delegate a third party to manage that land. There are, the owner can remove the delegation in any moment. Via Rentable, you can protect the renter. So if the renter paid an amount for X days, the renter has access to that land for X days. And here in the video, you show that it is still working. Okay, obviously, go outside the video. Thanks for patience. Okay, so, but this is just the, beginning. Why we think that our approach is valuable? Because with our approach, you enable composability. So you can integrate Rentable in other protocols. If you look for other renting mechanisms, most of them are off-chain, and they don't tokenize all the flow. This means that you can plug Rentable in other protocols, enabling very interesting use cases. And one of the examples is you can freely trade the deposit. I mean the deposit during the rental. This means that you can sell the NFT during a rental. Obviously, the recipient buyer can withdraw only when there is no rental in place. But this means that you can continue to own the asset. You can list and you can empower your NFT. You can use the rental agreement as collateral because now the rental your NFT is generating money. So you can, like with houses, have a houses, there is, someone that is using it, go to a bank and ask for a loan. This is possible with composability. But you can also, because the rental agreement is tokenized, you can sublet. So imagine that you rent for 10 days, you just use for 2 days because you play a tournament, as you use a sword, and then you have 8 days that you can spare. So you can sell the handle period of the. But this is just examples. Why examples? Because I would like to invite on the stage Season Protocol that contacted us to make basically more utility to their protocol, enabling rental for their users. And I will leave the stage to Duncan.
Thanks, Emiliano. Appreciate it. Hey, everybody. I'm James Duncan. I go by Duncan, the product lead at Seasons. And super excited to be on stage. I appreciate you, Emiliano. So Seasons it's a fractional management platform for NFTs. You could think of this as an NFT DAO tooling or a people pleaser kind of DAO out of the box. Our goal is to make the best interface for communities, decentralized communities, to manage NFT assets in a decentralized and trustless way. And so we'll go ahead and, there we go. Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, okay, yeah.
No, I think that we can go directly to.
Yeah, we can just go right into the video. And I'd be happy to talk a bit more about Seasons if you're interested in understanding kind of what we're doing. But we have been, there we go, thank you. We've been working with a number of different communities, actually one being Meebits DAO, which is funny that you guys already have a use case with Meebits. The Meebits DAO is an album, which is what we call our collectives of NFTs on our platform. They have about 90 plus Meebits in the album, and one of their main purposes is to provide proxy ownership of those Meebits. And so one of the first use cases for that proxy ownership opportunity would be to integrate Rentable and construct a Rentable proposal for the Meebits community. Here you can see what the proposal system actually looks like. Very briefly, you saw it, but we have this concept of standard proposals and custom proposals. So custom proposals will be proposals that we actually have to construct the transaction for. It's a bit more involved, a bit more technical, but we're able to essentially allow for the DAO community to do anything a normal multi-sig would, but it's used and controlled via a governance token or a token economy. So here you can see going through the actual snapshot interface. That's what we have to do for the custom proposals. Standard proposals are all built within the seasons interface in an intuitive way, right? So you can see just filling in the parameters, adding the transaction batch that will actually interact with the Rentable smart contract. And working with the Rentable guys, it was super easy to do, actually. So the actual integration process was quite seamless, which seems to be kind of one of the primary value adds of the Rentable platform, I think. And then you're going through this reality ETH and governance process that could get into more details if you'd like to learn more about that a bit later. And finally, the transaction can be executed, and you can now see the NFT on the Rentable interface at the end there. So anyway, thanks so much again for letting me come on stage for a moment. I'm really excited about what Rentable is doing, and I'm excited to help add more value to the platform.
Thank you, Duncan. Thank you. So, closing remarks. So, what's next for Rentable? We are audited. We are going to open the private beta to any users. We are just, sharing it with, some investors and strategic partners. Then explore and bring alive more permissionless use cases, because we don't have to ask anyone else right now. And we are virtually integrated with anything that is supported by Wallet Connect, other than the other use cases that can support wrappers. Obviously, we have to scale the team. We are just two of us for doing all the job. Improve the front end for those use cases that will have to land directly on us and not just on the gaming platform. And release the protocol wherever is needed. So on other layer 1s or layer 2. And so that's all. So thank you for the attention. Here are some QR codes for following us or join the community. And if you're a partner, creator, or would like to contribute in any means by capital suggestions or whatever, feel free to reach out at hello@rentable.world. Thank you very much.